Hello and welcome back to AP Psychology. I'm Miss Lee. We are finishing up Unit 9 and the entire AP Psychology course with this final video on social and cultural impact on the self. By the end of this video, you should be able to articulate the impact of social and cultural categories on self-concept, including gender, race, and ethnicity. You should also be able to anticipate the impact of self-fulfilling prophecy on behavior. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and grab your notes and let's get started. So when we talk about self-concept, we kind of have an idea of what that means, but our definition of it for our purposes in AP Psychology is that it's an individual's sense of self with regard to society and personal norms. When creating our self-concept, we do tend to compare ourselves to the norms of society. For example, a girl might call herself a tomboy because she likes things that most boys in her life like sports, playing outside, things like that. This is a play off of social norms. These are, again, society's standard of behavior. So, for example, boys like sports and girls like dolls. These are society norms. These are historically stereotypical society norms. And girls wear pink and behave ladylike, while boys bottle their emotions but can explode in anger and aggression. These are stereotypical standards that have been created by society over time. There are different factors that go into shaping our self-concept. We compare ourselves to the norms of society and use those norms to shape our own self-concept. But how could self-concept vary between individualistic and collectivist cultures? Jot that down in your notes. There has been some very important research on how the self-concept is shaped. Kenneth and Mamie Clark's doll test was instrumental in the Brown versus Board of Education case. In this research, psychologists Kenneth and Mamie Clark conducted an experiment to find the effects of segregation on Black children. Basically, what they were trying to find out was, did the separate but equal norm of society impact the way Black children viewed themselves, internalized themselves, built their own self-concept? The Clarks concluded that prejudice, discrimination, and segregation did indeed cause Black children to develop a sense of inferiority and self-hatred. And the question, as you are watching the video, is how are society's factors influencing the children's self-concept? So we're going to watch a short video clip on the doll test. This is a replication of the original.
In Brown versus Board of Education, the famous case that desegregated schools in the 1950s, Dr. Kenneth Clark conducted a doll test with Black children. He asked them to choose between a black doll and a white doll. In most instances, the majority of the children preferred the white doll. I decided to reconduct this test as Dr. Clark did to see how we've progressed since then. Can you show me the doll that you liked best or that you'd like to play with?
This one. I like that one.
Okay.
This one.
That one?
I like to play with this.
And can you show me the doll that is the nice doll? And why is that the nice doll?
He's white.
And can you show me the doll that looks bad? Okay. And can you and why does that look bad?
Because it's black.
And why do you think that's a nice doll?
Because she's white.
And can you give me the doll that looks like you? "15 out of the 21 children preferred the white doll."
Another factor in how we develop our self-concept is the stereotype threat. This is a self-confirming concern that one will be evaluated based on a negative stereotype. So it really doesn't start out with what you think about yourself. It's more about what you think others think about you. And I want you to think back to the blue-eye, brown-eyed experiment that we watched in class and think about how the children were reading flashcard times in different groups. What they thought other people thought of them affected their performance. Then there is the self-fulfilling prophecy. This is a belief that leads to its own fulfillment. An example would be the coach doesn't think freshmen are good players, so he never plays freshmen. When he eventually does play the freshman's no good because he never plays, filling the assumption that freshmen aren't any good. The social and cultural groups of other people lead us to treat them a certain way. When you're talking about social and cultural impact on the self, conflict can arise, and this is the perceived incompatibility of actions, goals, or ideas. This can cause a very destructive cycle because of things like social traps and distorted perceptions. Social traps are situations where we pursue our own personal interests at the expense of our collective well-being. So we do things that we think are good for us in the moment, but we ignore what is best for our group or the society at whole. And then you have distorted perceptions. Mirror image perceptions basically states that as we see our enemies as untrustworthy and evil intentioned, they also see us. So what we feel about them, they feel about us. And again, there's a self-fulfilling prophecy. We can behave towards others in ways that influence them to behave in ways that justify or confirm our beliefs about them. This doesn't bode well in conflicts. And that's it for social and cultural impact on the self. This is also the final video in the final unit. Congratulations, you have made it to the end. I can't wait to see you in class and celebrate all of your success on the AP Psychology exam. See you soon.